Zoom says China asked it to censor pro-democracy activists in US and it obeyed.
Here's a summary of the article.
San Francisco, Zoom Video Communications Inc. said it deactivated accounts of pro-democracy Chinese activists based in the U.S. at the request of China, intensifying concerns that Beijing is extending its censorship clout globally. Going forward, Zoom will not allow requests from the Chinese government to impact anyone outside of mainland China, the company said. Now the fear is that China is increasingly bringing its desire to control Internet activities beyond its borders to control its citizens and corporations. Wang Xixin, a professor at the Communication University of China, said tech companies that have operations in China and rely on its market will need to respect China's laws, ethics, political correctness and local people's feeling. For Zoom, that also applies, regardless of where the virtual meeting takes place, he said. Zoom, which maintains a significant research and development workforce in China, is now in the middle of the clash between free speech and government censorship that has confronted other US-based technology companies doing business, or trying to conduct business, in China. The event is a seminal moment for advocates of democracy in China. U.S. Senator Josh Hawley, a Republican from Missouri, wrote Yuan Thursday, stating that Zoom was not the first U.S. company to censor users in order to do business in China, but in the end, the Chinese Communist Party would benefit more than the appmaker.
This post received a score of 84,000, with an upvote ratio of 93%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Fuck Zoom then. Sadly no one cares and we won't show companies that we're against this type of shit. The Chinese dude was from HK. Basically Zoom says it's okay to silence and be silent about things like Tiananmen Square.
The same companies slap Black Lives Matter messages all over the place but don't seem to give a lick about China. Shows you they only really care about money.
It's always about money. The only reason you see companies taking a pro-BLM stance is because enough people support it now that it can be exploited as a marketing tool. Never fool yourself into thinking these companies actually want to do the right thing. Because if that were true, they'd have done it a long time ago.
Same with LGBT pride, same with black rights, same with women's rights. Companies switch sides only when it's clear who the winner is, and what makes them the most money. Very few companies are actually progressive for equality's sake.
You know Dove's body positivity campaigns? Owned by the same company as Lynx, with ads of bikini-clad supermodels running in unbridled lust at men.
To be fair, being owned by the same parent company doesn't really mean they don't have their own forms of autonomy. Doubt those two talk to each other about their respective marketing campaigns.
Good thing China didn't ask them to kill the pro-democracy activists.
That was the first question they ask always when you reply, "Sir, this is a Wendy's," then they just ask you to censor.
Is Zoom a Chinese company?
No, it's an American company. Their founder was born in China but is now an American citizen.
They don't necessarily need to be under the legal jurisdiction of the Chinese government to be influenced. Anyone that has come into contact or had any dealings with China can be influenced by their government via threats or promises of reward.
Doing business in China is a bit of a privilege, and in the case of a company like Zoom it could be revoked overnight. They know it. The way the Chinese government can switch off entire tech firms' access to the market on a whim means they all have to be very careful. The Chinese market is huge and of course tech firms want all they can get of it, but it does come at a price, and if you're a Western social media or similar firm you're going to have to clean your platform of anything the Chinese government find objectionable to continue doing business there.
Context left out. China demanded the company terminate the meetings and host accounts because of the activity, which it deemed illegal. Greater Than Zoom said that at least 3 of the 4 meetings contained participants from mainland China, and it made the decision to end 3 of the meetings and terminate the associated accounts, 2 in the US and 1 belonging to an activist in Hong Kong. Greater Than, going forward Zoom will not allow requests from the Chinese government to impact anyone outside of mainland China, the company said. Comply with local laws if they must, but it's a bit much to also terminate the 2 US accounts.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.